worst nightmare is nightmare is the Lakers winning tonight, and I have to listen to all the crap on Monday on all the talk shows how the Lakers are contenders. Please don't let them win.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Charles. So it's been an interesting season for my Lakers, where they've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs as well. And it's led to some crazy discourse around this team. But right now, they're playing better than ever and seem to be gelling at the right time. So today I'm going to discuss what I believe have been the keys to this win streak. And if you stick around till the end, I'm also going to let you know my opinion on if they are contenders. But before we continue, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now without further ado, let's get back to the video. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Let's start with what I believe has been the biggest key for this win streak, and that is the man that has been on an absolute tear lately. The man that has entered into the MVP talks, although he should have been there already. The man that just dropped 60 points on the second night of a back-to-back in Miami. The man that has been disrespected too many times this season. And that man is Luka Doncic. I mean, just take a look at his stats in the last 8 games. 44 against Indy, 35 against New York, 31 against Minnesota, 51 against Chicago, 30 against Denver, 36 against Houston, 40 against Houston again, 60 points against Miami. This man, Luka Doncic, is averaging over 40 points, almost 9 rebounds, and over 7 assists per game during this win streak. The media really sat here and really said that Jaylen Brown and Cade Cunningham were better than this man. Like, are you serious? We've seen so much crazy discourse around Luka this season, ranging from him complaining to the refs, to his defense, to people calling him a ball hog, etc. And while some of that criticism was valid, it seemed like everyone just jumped on this trend for the sake of hating on Luka. But now he's proving them wrong. One of the criticisms was that he couldn't lead this Lakers team to wins against good teams. But if you look closely at this 8-game win streak, you'll see that he's been torching teams that have been in the top 10 in defensive rating this season, where he's gone off against the Knicks, the Heat, the Timberwolves, and the Houston Rockets twice. But as great as his scoring has been, I've been more impressed with Luka's effort on defense. If you've listened to the media this season, or you've seen what people have been saying online, you will have noticed that people have been on Luka when it comes to his defense. That's been a big topic of the discourse when it comes to him, as people have cherry-picked certain clips to prove that Luka has been trash or hasn't given enough effort on defense. But the reality is, that's not even true. As Luka has shown a lot more effort on defense this season, and it's led to him creating turnovers for his team as well. Especially during his 60-point outing against Miami, where he also had 5 steals. Now, this is not me saying that Luka is some first-class defender, but he's certainly not the defender that people make him out to be. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on when it comes to Luka is going to be his play in the clutch. During this past 8-game win streak, we've seen him have clutch moment after clutch moment, especially against the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, and also against the Miami Heat. There were moments this season where it seemed like Luka just hadn't come up big in the clutch, but he's changed all that over the past 8 games. Now, do I believe he's the MVP? Not quite, but I do believe that there should be more respect thrown his way when it comes to these MVP talks. Now, I know I've talked a lot about Luka, but it's been more than just him when it comes to the Lakers' recent success. Which brings me to my second key, the adjustments and play of LeBron James. Now, just like Luka, there has been a lot of slander thrown LeBron's way this season, mostly regarding his age and his lack of a fit with this team. There were those graphics floating around about how Luka and Reeves played better together without LeBron, and how LeBron played better without Luka and Reeves. And I'm gonna be honest, I did start to believe that, but I'm here to say that I, along with everybody else, was dead wrong. As over the last 8 games, the Lakers actually have the second highest offensive rating in the league. And we can't use the excuse that LeBron doesn't fit in, as LeBron has played in most of these games. And there's been some specific tweaks that LeBron has made where he's not been on the ball as much and his usage rating has gone down. Now, Luka's usage rate was already high, but this has allowed for someone like Austin Reeves to get some more shots. And in turn, this has allowed LeBron to pick his spots on offense and dedicate more energy to the defensive side of the ball. And we can see this in the stats, as LeBron has put up some extremely efficient games recently, such as 7 for 13 against Chicago, 7 for 13 against Denver, 7 for 13 against Houston, 13 of 14 against Houston again, and 8 of 12 against Miami. And if you've watched these games, it's not like LeBron has had to take any tough shots. Most of these have been dunks or layups. He's been absolutely abusing teams with his off-ball cutting. With these type of efficient performances and more attention being paid on the defense, it's clear why the Lakers have been second in offense and 12th in defense over the past 8 games. But as much as I can attribute this success to both LeBron and Luka, I do have to show some love to my next key, the role players. I want to start with who I believe has been the most important role player all season, and that's Marcus Smart. Now, I know his offense is inconsistent, but Marcus Smart has stepped up, especially recently. As during this win streak, he scored 11 against the Pacers, 8 against Minnesota, 21 against Denver, 11 against Houston, and 13 against Miami. Now, these aren't all worldly numbers, but he's done his job, hit timely shots, and has been a pest on defense, which is all you can ask for. And he's been able to have some pretty good games from 3 during this stretch, where he went 5 for 12 against Denver and 3 for 7 against Houston. And even during that March 5th game against Denver, which the Lakers lost, and he missed those 2 threes in the clutch, he was 3 for 4 before those 2 misses. So it really wasn't that bad of an idea to have him take those 2 shots in hindsight. Now, I also want to show some love to somebody that I've been extremely hard on this season, and that's DeAndre Ayton. Now, Ayton has received a lot of flack this season, and rightfully so. There were too many moments where he would show a lack of effort if he wasn't getting his touches. And that's simply not the type of player that the Lakers needed. And this all came to a head when he decided to open his mouth and say, "They're trying to make me Clint Capella. I'm not no Clint Capella." But it seems like the amount of backlash he's received has caused him to change his perspective. As recently, he's made some comments to say that he had to tell himself that he's just not that guy, and that he needs to put in the effort to help this team win. And rather than just saying it, he showed it on the court. Because during this stretch, he hasn't had consistent touches, but his effort, in my opinion, has been a lot more consistent. For instance, during that Denver game, he had his struggles in the first half and throughout the game, but in overtime he came up big and was a key part in helping the Lakers pull out that win. And this is all that the Lakers need from Ayton. Whether he's scoring or not, they need him to be consistent in terms of his effort. So props to DeAndre Ayton, man. Keep it up. I also don't want to forget about the other role players, such as Rui Hachimura, who for the most part over these past 8 games has shot it pretty good from 3. And when the 3 ball hasn't been going down, I like the fact that he's been going to the mid-range. I also want to show some love to Luke Kennard. Even though he has been in a bit of a slump recently, I still do want to give him a shout out, as he's been a sniper from 3 for the most part. And even when he doesn't have the shot attempts, he does try to take the ball off the dribble and keep the ball moving. And even somebody like Jake LaRavia, who is still struggling with his shot, but he's been able to do all the other little things, such as keeping the ball alive for rebounds and playing decent defense. And then you have Jackson Hayes, who although he's been inconsistent, for the most part he's been a good energy guy. And lastly, I just want to give a quick shout out to Austin Reeves. And I know he's not a role player, but he's had some great scoring games over the past 8 games. And I've also loved his playmaking, as he's been able to set people up for easy looks. All in all, I do feel like this team is starting to really gel, and we've seen it lead to some success in the win column. Speaking of wins, this leads me to my final key, and that's just simply being able to beat good teams. See, for most of the season, it seemed like the Lakers just couldn't beat teams that were in the playoff picture. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things that had the fans and the media doubting this team. But recently, it's like a switch turned on, as after a tough loss against the Nuggets on March 5th, the Lakers would go on to blow out the Knicks, blow out the Timberwolves, beat the Nuggets in an overtime thriller, beat the Rockets back-to-back in Houston, and then on the second night of a back-to-back, they beat the Miami Heat in Miami. They've taken some serious strides here and have shown that they're able to hang with some of the best teams in the league. Now this brings us to the $1 million question. Are the Los Angeles Lakers contenders? Well, it depends on what you define as a contender, so let me give you mine. To me, a contender is a team that I can realistically see winning their conference and making it to the NBA Finals. And by that definition, I have to sadly say that the Lakers aren't quite contenders yet. Now that doesn't mean that I see them having zero chance of making it all the way, but I just don't see it as something realistic, as I have the Spurs and the Thunder as 2 of the clear teams ahead of them. And I know I'm a fan, but I also do have to be fair. As good as the Lakers have been on offense, I just don't trust their defense enough to be able to get them to the NBA Finals. And that's not a knock against this team, they're still a really good team. But I just think they're 1 tier below contender status, just by my definition though. But let me know in the comments, do you think the Lakers are contenders? What do you think has been the biggest key to the Lakers' turnaround recently? Also, is there a key to this recent success that I didn't mention? Let me know. And also let me know if you think Luka can win MVP this season. And of course, if you've made it this far in this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe for more, as it really does help this channel grow. And if you want to know why we as fans tend to revise history, go ahead and check out the video on your screen. And of course, thank you for hanging with me today. It's been Dre, and these have been my thoughts. Until next time.